Hey everybody, it's Jack and Dan.
And today we're doing another Jack tank.
Yeah, because of the virus, we were not able to do a lot more Jack tanks. So we did do updates on the ones that we did. We did 3-month updates on the one that we did before the virus hit, and there was the quarantining and everything like that. So we decided we would do a Jack tank on one of our own little guys, Squirt to be precise. And we talked about the fact that we were going to be working on this. Squirt's got kind of a little bit of some sort of metabolic syndrome. We don't know what it is. We took him to a veterinarian that we know, and the guy was like, look, I don't know what to tell you. He's in the same environment as all the other turtles. The other turtles are all doing awesome. He suggested some supplements and things, and we kind of upped some of those things. Didn't seem to matter. He said basically a little guy like Squirt, sometimes genetically, they just don't grow, and they just get picked off in nature. What's cool for Squirt is he's not in nature. He's with me and Jack, so we're going to give him an awesome home of his own. Reason is because some of the other turtles are getting a little bigger, and they're just kind of pushing him over and walking on top of him on the basking bridge, and so we don't want him to get hurt. We want him to give him his own little home. It's not going to be far away. It's going to be right here. So here is Jack's huge triple tank design thing, which you'll notice is looking a little different because we're also working on that and doing some upgrades on that. That's going to be a surprise coming up. This is the old 20-gallon tank that Jack used to have over here on the counter before we got this 40-gallon. We went to the Ohio Fish Rescue to help move some tanks and things, and they had this little 40-gallon donated. It was kind of old and scratched up. They said, hey, why don't you guys take it? We can't use these small tanks here anyway. So since we helped out, and Big Rich was like, hey, take that. So we cleaned it up, and we checked it, and it didn't have any leaks, so we used it for that setup. So we still had this one sitting around the garage this whole time. You can see it still has the old sand and stuff in it. We're going to clean this baby up, check out all this stuff. During the virus, whenever I saw sales and stuff online, I would just kind of grab stuff if they were having sales. So we've got all this stuff sitting around just waiting to be used. Jack finally got done with school, so we got a chance to have a little bit of extra time now. Between work and school and homeschooling, he was way too busy. So now we have some time. We're going to put this baby together and give Squirt his awesome own little Jack tank, aren't we, buddy? Yeah. Check this out. Okay, so Jack vacuumed, we dumped that, and then he vacuumed a little bit of it out of the extra. We'll probably wash it off. This is in pretty good shape still. You'll notice that even before we had under gravel lights on this one, you can cut into your frame here for the most part. Very easy to do. Just take a little, you can actually just take a steak knife or something or a little saw, and you can cut little notches so that you can ultimately fit some cords through there. Very easy to do. We have one on this side, we have one on this side. And again, when you go up in there, normally that's just an empty space. I'm not saying that your tank would be. I did this a long time ago, and I just know that most of them are like that. What we ended up doing is we kept this old LED light thing. Really, really, really cool, really easy. Let me get the remote here. This is literally $10. I mean, you can get these, you know, on Lowe's or Home Depot. You'll notice they do come in little housings sometimes. Sometimes they are just all formed together. In order to make them really skinny and fit underneath a tank, you can just kind of take a pair of pliers and just kind of take this housing off. It's not really that hard to do. All we had to do here was just kind of break this little area with some pliers and pop these out. We're going to lay these on the top of this dresser here, and the tank's going to go on top of them. Now these are very flat, so you could probably set the tank on top of it, but I still think the weight of the tank would do damage over time to that. So that's why we put those little notches in there. So these will go up underneath those little notches and lay on the bottom of the tank. We'll simply tape them to secure them, and they're going to shine up through the bottom of the tank. With these awesome little hurricanes, we got these for very inexpensive. You can find them in a lot of different stores, home stores. We went to World Market when they were closing. One by us was going out of business. And they had all kind of different hurricanes like this for candle sculptures and things. And we got them for 50 cents a piece. So for $1.50, we got 3 of these. And we got these 3 LED lights for about $10 years ago from like Lowe's.com. So for about $11.50, we're going to have some sweet, awesome under gravel lights. So we're going to show you how to do that. Okay, so we got a little black background on. I mean, it's just a regular, typical kind of plastic background. You cut it, you put it on the back. Pretty simple. Now what we did here is we ran those little under gravel lights underneath, and we positioned them kind of by taking a ruler and lifting up the edge of the tank and just kind of positioning them. Now we got them where we want them. Those are where the glass sculptures are going to be, which are going to ultimately be under gravel lights that are going to come up through there. What we have found is if you tape them, what we're going to do is we're going to sneak back in here. I'm actually going to go in the closet behind here. We're going to tape down those cords back right where they go into the tank here. Because we have found in case that those cords get pulled, if they're taped here, they have a more likely chance of moving, whereas if you tape them here, they do not. So we're just going to tape them right here on the top of the counter, or top of the dresser, and then that way, if those cords get kind of pulled or anything, we won't have to reposition them and take down the water and the whole 9 yards. Okay, so we're kind of doing a preliminary fill just to see what it looks like. So far, so good. And again, the reason that we want to use a hurricane type of thing is because you can see that the light is up against the bottom glass. Ultimately, that glass will grow algae on it. And if you have a glass sculpture of some sort, which we have in the big tank, you got to constantly move the lights kind of back and forth every few months because algae will grow and it'll just turn green. By using a hurricane type, those structures are so big I wasn't able to find glass sculptures that big. But anyway, if you use a hurricane like this, the little plecos and snails and things and algae eaters will go down in here, clean that off, and you'll never ever have to clean it. It'll just constantly stay clean, and the glass, and I mean the lights will then shine through. It's pretty much maintenance free, and literally, like I said, for $11.50, we're going to have this awesome under gravel effect of lighting that you just can't get with above lighting. You just can't get it. So that's why we do this. Now we are going to have a clamp light up here that is going to be the UV light. So that's why we're not really putting any top lights. The UV light's going to shine through and really light up the tank. That's going to be on a timer, you know, for him, just like we have these guys on a timer. That's why they're not on right now. They pretty much turn on in the mornings and evenings, but not in the middle of the day when the sun's coming in the room and everything. So they get more than enough UV light. And then these will be on remote, and Jack will be able to turn them on and off whenever he wants. Basically, it's going to be air curtain up, filter there. There's the sponge filter. For the heater, we couldn't find a good place for it, so we just threw it smack dab in the middle to at least make it symmetrical. We're not sure if we're going to turn it sideways or leave it in the middle. We're not sure. But for now, we're going to start pouring in. Jack already started pouring some of the... We got some very small black gravel that we're going to use as a foundation to kind of hold all this stuff down. And then we're going to put black sand on top of it so it's nice and thick. So we're getting a nice good base of gravel here. Pouring it down. It's going to fill, it's going to cover up these air stones. They're just going to be buried. And all these areas in between these sculptures are going to be full. And then we're going to do sand, and then we're going to fill it up the rest of the way. It's going to look awesome. All right, so here's what we got so far. We got the black mini gravel. We got the black sand on top. We put a little bit of these kind of like silver gravel pieces. We're going to have those kind of just scattered about just a little tiny bit. The under gravel lights are looking great. The little sponge filters are doing awesome. They're just touching the sand on the bottom, and then the tubes are going up. We have one pump kind of split. We do have the bubblers on the side, but I thought I had another pump here at the house, and I do not. So we're going to have to grab a pump tomorrow, hook that up. So there'll be one pump for the side bubblers, one pump for the filters. And this is a piece of driftwood we've had for a long time. It was kind of curvy. We thought it would be cool for the background. Got that when we went to Florida for Christmas break, for Jack's Christmas break, and met Father Fish over there in Venice. Went and visited him. He gave us a whole bunch of pieces of driftwood. We thought this one was really cool. You see, we got his light up here, and that's kind of hanging onto the clothes rack, and that's going to hang down and shine right here, and then we're going to put a little suspended type of bridge thing for him. And we got like little side things here so the bubblers don't all kind of splash over. So we're going to get his bridge in there, raise this up a little bit, and get some plants. And what's going to be 2 days for us is going to be about 2 seconds for you guys. All right, so Squirt's already in here checking everything out. We finished this. Got the lights up here. Got the little pieces of plexiglass. Got all the tubing running. Got the bubblers going on underneath the sand over here on this side. And then again over here on this side. Lights are working awesome. Got this sweet piece of driftwood in here. Tank's nice and warm. totally digging it. He's going around doing things, checking it out. Now here's what we're doing for the bridge. Took a big old piece of driftwood, really cool looking piece, and suspended it with, this is like 5,000 pound test, whatever, fishing line. We use this to actually hang huge lava rocks in one of our big tank designs. We'll leave a link in the description for that. And this stuff was amazing. It held that lava rock up there for like a year. And of course that's not that heavy, but they were huge pieces. You'll have to see it. It's pretty cool. So anyway, hung one over here, tied it into a bunch of knots, cut it, and then of course melted the ends because it'll unravel being plastic. So you melt the ends and you just kind of smash them down. So now we're gonna cut this. We got it all situated. Here's what it looks like from the side. So it just kind of hangs. It's flat on one side, round on the other. So it just kind of hangs right there. We're just gonna leave this about a centimeter or two down so that Jack can see, because it is high up on top of this dresser. So we're just gonna leave it down about that far, and he'll be able to go up there. We're gonna level this out a little bit. Pretty much gonna be perfect. The cool part is just because it's round like that, if the water evaporates, a centimeter or two, he'll still be able to get on his bridge, and he can fill it back up and still get on. It'll just kind of change the amount of area, but he'll still be able to get up here and get right up under his light, because he's always basking on that one. He loves that one. But again, we just don't want him getting beat up. So this is coming around real nicely. Tomorrow, we're getting some plants. We're gonna put some awesome plants in here. We don't think, with him being this small and so far from what we're seeing, he kind of kicks the sand around, but he's not able to really dig into it. Okay, we went up to Best and Pets. We got some Hypophilia hippocandoides. Did I say that right?
I don't know.
Best and Pets, Connor. We did a whole tour of the place while we were there. Really awesome people. We talk about Best and Pets all the time. It's our LFS, our favorite LFS.
Little Big Fish store.
The biggest little pet shop.
Biggest
Really, really awesome. We love it. Jack picked these out. He was just smelling them. He thought that they smelled really good. We ordered some fish from our buddy Stephan, SC Aquatics. If you don't know him, he's awesome. We'll put a link in the description. We met him at the Ohio Fish Rescue several months ago when we were there, helping him move some huge tanks. I'll put that link in the description as well. That was a fun day, wasn't it, kiddo?
Yeah.
And he's going to hook us up a great deal with some awesome fish. So we have some new fish coming. We're going to be adding some of our fish in there. And then we have some secret fish that nobody knows about, too, that we're going to be putting in here that are going to be really neat, huh? If you are interested in having your tank jacked by Jack and Dan, let us know in the comments. We do have a lot of people who are interested in having us do this. We like to just kind of change things up, right? Maybe add some lights, maybe some colors or plants or something, maybe redoing one. And also we do builds completely from scratch. We do have a lot of friends and family that are wanting us to jack their tanks or build them tanks. We will be coming up with those videos. But if you live anywhere near the Cleveland area and you want us to do that, hit us up in the comments and let us know, and we'll come out and do it, and we'll do a video on it and everything like that, won't we?
Yeah.
We will see you next time, guys. Have a great day, okay?
Bye.